James Franco just exposed the dirtiest Hollywood secrets, and the disturbing part was how he admitted to his own role in it. And if you're wondering why you've not been seeing anything about him, whether on TV or social media, it's because Hollywood canceled him. He's been shut out since as far back as 2018, but with these new revelations, everyone will be in shock. You see, recently he sat down for an interview where he finally addressed what life has been like after being cast out, how he's been trying to rebuild himself, and what he claims has changed. In that conversation, he spoke about living in the shadows, saying he took a long pause from everything, and that he's grateful for the time away because it pushed him to confront things he had been avoiding for years. He said he wasn't working during the lawsuit, then COVID hit and nobody was working. But through all of that, he had to change his entire way of living. When asked if it felt unfair that he was shut out, he said, "It is what it is. I've honestly moved past it. It was dealt with and I got to change." But the interview didn't stop there. Franco openly discussed how his career crumbled after the accusations became public, how he lost long-time collaborations, especially with Seth Rogen, and how Hollywood completely froze him out. He said he loved Seth, and they had 20 great years together, but that chapter is over. He admitted Rogen's comments hurt him, but understood that because he himself stayed silent for years, other people were forced to answer for him. That silence also carried into his private life, where he said he had to examine deeper patterns, including those tied to addiction and emotional dryness. All of this leads into what he had done in the past, the part that pushed him out of the industry in the first place. The allegations first surfaced in 2018, centered on Studio 4, the acting school he co-owned. Several women, most of them his own students, accused him of sexual misconduct, manipulation, and creating a classroom dynamic that blurred professional boundaries. There was also the now infamous class called Sex Scenes, which students had to audition for and pay an extra fee to join. According to the lawsuit, the women believed the school was a pipeline toward roles in Franco's projects, and that the environment pushed them into situations they didn't feel comfortable refusing. He denied the accusations at the time, but by 2021, he finally admitted in an interview that he had slept with students. He said he didn't create the school with that intention, and that he wasn't the one choosing who got into the class. He said he never slept with anyone from the Sex Scenes course specifically, but admitted that over the years, he had relationships with students, believing that if everything was technically consensual, then it was fine. He explained that his thinking back then was shaped by his sex addiction and by being completely blind to the power imbalance between a world-famous actor and people hoping to advance their careers. He said he was working non-stop, teaching at multiple schools, performing on Broadway, filming movies, and using attention from women as another form of validation. In his words, there was never enough. The allegations arrived during the height of the Me Too movement, and the fallout was immediate. Franco denied everything at first, but eventually settled the suit for $2.2 million. His accusers criticized his interview statements afterward, saying he was still downplaying their experiences and refusing to fully acknowledge the harm he caused. After that, Franco disappeared. He wasn't on sets, wasn't promoting films, and wasn't appearing at award shows. His career had collapsed, and he says he used that period to do internal work and reassess everything. According to him, he had to confront the patterns driving his behavior and rebuild the way he approached relationships, acting, and his own identity. He said he spent years out of the spotlight, diving back into recovery and focusing on emotional work he had ignored for too long. He said he realized he had no real personal life before, that everything he did was tied to work, and that he finally learned how to be in a long-term relationship without fear. Now, years later, he's trying to return. He's been working on European productions, learning Italian for a new role, and slowly re-entering the industry through projects not controlled by Hollywood studios.